It's been suggested by a few royal insiders that Prince Harry was quite shocked by the frosty reception that he received from certain members of the royal family when he returned to the UK for Prince Philip's funeral. And as a result, a few people are speculating that he may decide to pull out of the ceremony to unveil a statue that was created in his mother's honor. Now, I personally do not believe that Harry would avoid such an important occasion simply because he was worried about maybe getting another frosty reception. However, it's important to keep in mind that Meghan Markle is due to give birth at around the same time, we believe, as the statue unveiling is due to take place. So it really will depend on the arrival of Prince Harry's second child as to whether he feels confident about leaving her in LA and flying to the UK. I would imagine, even though restrictions and lockdown is starting to ease up in the UK, I think it will still be deemed something of a risk for Meghan to fly if she's just given birth. And obviously, if she hasn't given birth by that point, it would be far too dangerous for her to get on a flight when she is about to welcome her second child. So it'll be a difficult decision for Harry because he will have to kind of choose whether he stays with his wife or flies to the UK, even if it's just for a day. Obviously, he has the means to do so. He could, if he really wanted to, I would imagine, get a private jet that could take him to the UK so that he could be in and out within a matter of hours even. But that, in my mind, is really the only reason why Harry would avoid going to this ceremony. We know already that it's been discussed that he and William were going to put aside their differences and really focus on paying tribute to their mother. And I don't think that Harry's experience at Philip's funeral would prevent him from doing that, especially given that it's still a few months down the line. So there's still time for the brothers to really work on mending their relationship before they have to reunite once again. So the statue is going to be unveiled on the 1st of July, which would have been the princess's birthday. The statue was originally commissioned back in 2017 on the 20th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. Harry and William actually commissioned the statue together, and it's been created by the same man who was responsible for putting the Queen's portrait on all of the queens in the UK. So he has a pretty good resume. We don't exactly know what the statue will look like just yet, but we do know that it's going to be placed in the sunken gardens at Kensington Palace, which is one of Princess Diana's favorite places. She used to love strolling through the gardens when she was living there. Now, it's going to be a fairly small ceremony, I would imagine. Again, it really does depend on what COVID restrictions look like in the UK at the time. But we do know that right now it is expected to just be close family members. I would imagine that William and potentially Harry, if he's able to make it, will say a few words in honor of their mother. And really the purpose of the event is to pay tribute to Diana's legacy, to honor her both as a mother and also as an incredible charity worker, honor all of the work that she did for those amazing initiatives around the world, and also just look back on her life while she was living in the royal family and also beyond that in the years after, before her death. I think Prince Harry honestly felt uncomfortable at certain stages during his return to the UK. It's really important, I think, to keep in mind that while we saw the public face of what was going on, we saw the cordial conversation between Harry and William and between Harry and Charles after the funeral took place, behind closed doors, it was a slightly different state of affairs. We have been told that he was quite surprised by how frosty his reception was. And, you know, I think it's always a difficult thing to deal with intense family issues like this when there is so much distance between you, because resentment tends to build up, and until you see someone face to face, you don't really know how they're feeling. And that really was the case for Harry. He had had a few, we understand, quite terse conversations with his brother in the wake of that bombshell Oprah interview. Those conversations, we understand, did not go particularly well. So to see William for the first time, particularly at such a point of turmoil and upset for the royal family, it really was a very difficult situation for everyone involved. And I think Harry felt a little bit like an outsider, not only because of what has gone down with the Oprah interview with the rift between him and his brother, but also simply because he has been away from the family for so long. And during that time, the rest of the senior royals have really come together and bonded through a moment of unbelievable upset the world over. Going through the pandemic with your relatives, with those closest to you, I think for a lot of people out there has been an incredible bonding experience, and the royal family is no different. Additionally, dealing with the fallout from that Meghan and Harry interview has helped the royal family to come together and form really close relations, particularly when it comes to William and Charles. We know that the two of them have been working very closely together to formulate a plan as to how the royal family moves forward and how they really deal with Meghan and Harry's position looking ahead. I think William was initially nervous about how quickly Harry and Meghan's relationship was moving. We know from royal insiders that he expressed concerns to his brother very early on when he saw how serious the romance had become in just a matter of weeks. So that really started the tension between William and Meghan. And I think things just escalated from there. Harry really did break from royal tradition from the very start of his relationship with Meghan. He issued a press release in the very early days, insisting that the media leave her alone, accusing the media of writing very negative stories about her. And that really is not something that we are used to seeing from members of the royal family. And that really was the first sign that Harry was kind of pushing back against those traditions that he had followed for his entire life. And from there, more and more evidence of Harry's desire to kind of break away came forward. And I think that a lot of members of the royal family attributed that to his relationship with Meghan. So things between William and Meghan were never particularly friendly. They were never the best of friends. And then on top of that, Meghan and Kate never really bonded and formed a close relationship. So Meghan didn't really ingratiate herself with William and Kate. Similarly, they weren't really 100% willing to accept her into their family. And obviously, as we all now know, things really have snowballed from there, culminating in that Oprah interview where Meghan made a fairly upsetting allegation about Kate, and then Harry addressed the rift with his brother and effectively said, things aren't really the same as they used to be.
Now, do we think that William will ever forgive Meghan down the line?
It really depends on who you ask. Certain sources say no, that there really is no way back for Meghan as far as the rest of the royal family is concerned. Now, William and Harry will always be brothers. There is nothing that they can do to change that. I don't know whether their relationship will ever fully get back to the really close place that it once was, which, to be honest, is such a shame. And I know a lot of people who were very close to Diana have reflected on that a lot in recent weeks and have said that she would be devastated to see where William and Harry are today. And I think that's absolutely correct. I think it is very poignant that we're coming up to the date of what would have been her 60th birthday, and William and Harry are further apart than they've ever been. However, as they say, blood is thicker than water, and I think that Harry and William will always find a way to repair their relationship, even if they can't return it to the closest place that it once was a few years ago. I think that if William and Harry are able to get themselves to a good place, William will be much more willing to reevaluate his relationship with Meghan. I think that William is above all a man of honor. And if he becomes close with Harry, if things start to mend between the two brothers, then I don't think that William would purposefully hold resentment towards Meghan simply to be spiteful. I don't know that he will ever be able to fully trust her, but I don't think that he would reject her fully simply out of feelings of anger and frustration. He will put his relationship with his brother first, and if he's able to repair that, then he will understand that Meghan is part of that package.